Here we are, Drew. Yeah. Back in Grandma's house. You smell that?
Yeah.
You know what that is?
Yeah. It's Febreze.
It's nostalgia.
No, it's Febreze.
No, it's nostalgia. And it's joy.
Okay, it's nostalgia. God.
Let's get out of here and go play some video games.
Yeah, that's Febreze.
Welcome back to Cartridge Royale, the show where we revisit old retro games and see if they hold up.
We'll see. We'll definitely see.
Today we're going to be playing 3 SNES games. We're going to give them 2 hours apiece because that's how long you get on Steam before you can refund a game, and then evaluate them at the end.
Today, all of our games are going to be 2D platformers. Going to be a really good time.
That's right, Luke. Let's take a look at our first game.
What do you got there?
We're going to start off with what a lot of people think is the greatest 2D platformer ever made, Super Mario World.
Introducing the next generation from Nintendo, New Super Mario World, created especially for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
We even have the combo pack here with All Stars, which includes all of the previous Mario games, which is really neat. This is the cartridge that we grew up with.
And honestly, in my opinion, I don't know what everybody else's opinion is, this is the best way to play those previous Mario games as well, instead of going back and playing them on the NES. Mm-hmm. The graphical update and the music update to all of those games just sounds, it sounds chef's kiss on the Super Nintendo, so.
And I feel like the SNES controller is also better.
Yeah, it just feels way better to hold. The NES controller, I feel like, felt really pointy in your hands at times. It was very square, but the roundness and the smoothness of the Super Nintendo controller just made it much more comfortable to hold in your hand.
Totally. So let's talk about Super Mario World. This is a game that was a launch title for the console, released in 1990 in Japan and in 91 here in America. This had all of the heavyweights behind it. This is Shigeru Miyamoto, this is Koji Kondo on the music, and this is actually our first-party title that we've had here on Cartridge Royale.
And that's really interesting.
I mean, this is only episode 2, but...
I know, but it's still really interesting that for our first episode, we had 2 rare games and then an Acclaim game.
Yeah.
So,
well,
interesting.
And the quality of Acclaim cannot be overstated.
Yeah. Oh, you.
I believe that this is far and away the highest selling cartridge on the console.
I believe it.
20 million copies are out there, but very few boxes. We talked about this. If you can find a boxed copy, or just a copy of the cartridge with the box for Super Mario World, it's worth quite a bit of money because these were often included as...
bundled.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Because
Bundled.
these were often bundled with the console, so they didn't come in their own separate box. So let's go check out Mario. No! You! Oh no!
You didn't die. That's all that matters.
It's gonna be one of those days, isn't it?
Yeah. Can't wait for you to try and play Donkey Kong. The next game that we're going to be trying out today is probably my favorite, personally. It's Donkey Kong Country 2. Specifically 2, though.
On the system that keeps pounding out the hits, Super NES. Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Conquest.
The original Donkey Kong was revolutionary for its time. It had those pre-rendered graphics that looked really amazing, but this was much more stylized, and I think it has an overall better look and aesthetic than the first game. Mm. And in terms of sound design, it's also a lot better in my opinion. This was released back in 1995, so it was pretty late back into the Super Nintendo's life cycle, believe it or not.
Yeah, that's just like
this was 1 year before
the
Nintendo 64 came out, so... It didn't have the numbers that Super Mario World had. It only sold like 4.37 million units, which is still a lot of units, but that's, I feel like that's pretty par for course for the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, a lot of the games that we looked at, it seemed like 4 or 5 million was about where other titles capped out. And Super Mario World is just such an outlier as far as sales go. Probably because it was a bundle.
Yeah, because it was packaged in with the system. Mm-hmm. The music on this is another thing that I really, really love. This was done by David Wise, not Grant Kirkhope. This was before Grant Kirkhope's time. David Wise was very heavily influenced by like big bands and disco music and hip hop, believe it or not. And also, funnily enough, when I was doing my research on this, Phil Collins was a big influence for this.
Phil?
We love Phil Collins.
We love Phil.
Hey. 2 worlds, 1 family. Trust your heart. Let fate decide
to guide these lives we see.
But anyway, yeah, Phil Collins rules.
Wait. This is your Phil Collins influence.
Dude, this is the freaking
It's in the air tonight.
In the air tonight. Yeah. Another fun fact I really liked about the development of this game is that the dev team was extremely young when they were making this game. The lead developer was only 23 years old.
Holy crap.
So they took a lot of risks with this game, and that included making the title character not a playable character, which was interesting for the time, unless you're a Zelda
that's
fan.
Right. That's right. Oh, and something, when we were talking about this last night, I didn't realize this, but it's Diddy's Kong Quest.
Not
all
Kong
growing
Quest,
up, I
yeah.
always thought it was Diddy Kong's Quest, and it's Diddy's Conquest.
Yeah.
And that kind of wordplay is something that I don't think very many other games pay attention to.
Yeah, Rareware, there's something about old Donkey Kong games, and even the new Donkey Kong games, Nintendo's kind of continued this tradition of coming up with like alliterative names. Words are hard.
All right, enough talking. Let's go play the game.
All right, cool.
Oh, second try, not bad. She plays guitar. That's fucking cool.
Hey, look, we already made it to the next place.
Crocodile Cauldron.
Dude, look at the freaking overworld, man. Did you see that? It looks awesome. Oh, man.
Right. For game number 3, I have acquired a deviously, probably terrible game. We'll find out here in a second. Are you ready for this, Luke?
Give me some fun facts about it first before you tell me about it.
Fun facts about this. This was simultaneously released on all 3 systems at the time.
So Genesis,
SNES,
SNES,
and NES. So this is a game that came out in '92, the same year of the movie it was based on.
It is Home Alone 2.
Well, give yourself a thrill with the new Home Alone 2 Super Nintendo video game. Also available for your Game Boy and Nintendo Entertainment System.
Now,
Oh my.
movie tie-ins are very hit and miss, but they miss way more than they hit. And I don't know. The reviews for this game at the time, from what I've seen, have been not like bad, but pretty middling. So we'll see what we get through the lens of hindsight with this.
It's definitely gonna suck.
I mean, we'll find out when we play it.
It's definitely gonna be horrible. Aha! Oh. Aha!
The most feared enemy in all of gaming.
The luggage bag.
Oh shit, no, what's the name for it? Like specifically like
Garment bag.
the Garmin bag, that's what it is. Of course, we are the Sticky Bandits. We love Home Alone. The whole channel and our whole Discord is themed around Home Alone because it's just a movie that we absolutely love. So we'll see how closely this game follows the movie, and we'll know exactly because... Oh, thanks, fan, for coming on. Anyway, I guess enough about this. Let's go check it out.
I am so fucking excited.
Well, Luke, it sure has been an exciting day, hasn't it?
I had a good time in the middle. The first part was a good time too, but I can't lie to you. That last hour and 40 minutes was rough. We had another early quitting on another game that was terrible.
We didn't make it all the way through because, I don't know.
We'll get into it more, but when we get to that game.
So let's start with Super Mario World, what some people consider to be the best platformer ever made.
I disagree, but it's not because it's a bad game. It's a great game. We struggled, and I think it was because it was the first game we played.
Yeah, well,
and we weren't warmed up, and our controller was kind of janky, and so that kind of contributed to it too. So don't roast us too hard in the comments, please. Like,
right.
I think you go left because we got to get the switch up there. So do the.
Wait, there's a switch in this game? Oh,
You killed yourself.
you killed myself.
You're bad at the game. Died on 1-1. You're bad.
All right, you alien assholes.
If you would have died again,
I would have laughed. Ah! God damn it!
Hey, watch out for the big FU bullet bill.
Oh! Oh my God! Get out of here! I'm done. I'm done. I'm so bad.
You're freaking out. It was just a matter of getting warmed up and getting used to the controller again. So
Yeah.
don't come at us too hard, please. We tried, okay?
Yeah. Well, and I felt like I was way worse. That controller was,
Yeah, it was
really
janky.
working
It was
against
janky.
me. We might have to upgrade on that front at some point.
Boy.
Stab me in the eye. Look, I'm like, oh, I was flying. I swear
How
to
are you-
God,
yeah, dude.
I'm pressing just right, and it makes me
I think you're pressing it too hard, maybe. Press it a little lighter.
Definitely overall, I really enjoyed going back to this era of games.
Loved it.
They're much simpler, but they're trickier than they appear.
That's very true.
Like doing simple things in this game, like you see it and you know what you need to do, but then actually executing on it actually takes a good amount of skill.
yeah. Dum Chivai. Oh, Chivai!
And it's like quick reaction times and precise controls.
Knowing how far your jump goes when you're sprinting versus when you're not sprinting. Yeah.
Well, and I guess like specifically in Super Mario World, like I feel like it's such a gorgeous game. It's
beautiful.
The sprites are so beautifully designed. It's so bright and
Vibrant.
colorful and vibrant. Yeah, it was just so like beautiful.
And
I loved just looking at it. Like when you were playing, I was just like
Having a good old time watching,
That
yeah.
looks so nice.
Well, and then to complement that, the music.
yeah.
My goodness, the music.
Koji Kondo is legendary. Has he done anything
I don't think he's ever
bad?
missed. He's never missed.
Because like like half of my top 10 video game soundtracks are Koji Kondo.
Yeah. I would say that a lot of mine are too.
The music is already so very good. You're gonna
Coins! Guy just doesn't miss. He's super creative and he's not a one-trick pony either.
No,
he
he's
is
very
super versatile. Like any type of game, he just crushes. And you can listen to an older Mario game and you can tell exactly what game it is between all the different ones. Like this
Yeah.
one has a very distinct sound versus Super Mario Brothers 3, which has a very different sound. And it just works.
I do think that of all the Mario games, like every single Mario game I've ever played, this is my favorite though.
Yeah, even better than the 64. Interesting. Okay.
I there's something so charming about the way that it was implemented. I think I mentioned this while we were playing, but like the way that the audio works in most of these games is that they just have the sounds are generated by the audio chip, and what they play is determined by a MIDI track. It's the way that you get the smallest file sizes, which you are very, very limited by in these. And leveraging that really simple system to get it to like perform the audio for you, which is such an adorable way of thinking about it, but it's kind of accurate. I just love the I guess they call them sound fonts. I don't know if they call them that originally in the game dev world, but if you go into like get those sounds today, they call them sound fonts. So you can download the sound font for Super Mario World, and it'll be all of the various sounds that were used in it, and then you can write your own music using these exact sounds. And the palette of tones that's there, they're just so good.
And it's with an instrument I feel like you don't hear a lot of, like steel drums.
Yeah,
Like there's a lot of steel drums in this game.
no.
Oh, are you kidding?
Oh! Denied! Oh, that's rotten luck. The
And-
piano sound is just like kind of a honky-tonk sound to the
Yeah.
thing, and it is it doesn't sound like Wild West Saloon
No,
or
not
anything
at all.
But that's what the sound is. But it's just used in this clever way, and the compositions are so like nuanced and complex, and I just love it. You can just like sit and watch and listen to this game and really
Just be
enjoy
happy.
it. Yeah,
It just is happy. That's the
Yeah.
best way to describe it. Even some of the scarier levels, you just have a good, like, quote unquote scary level, like the more eerie levels or whatever. It's the colors still pop out really well, like the white from the booze and like the green snot bubbles and
yeah.
Their enemy type though.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed how consistently this game just keeps throwing new and interesting shit at you. Like the pacing is really, really good.
And you can't say enough great things about Super Mario World.
Yeah, like all the power-ups are really fun to use.
Cape is the best one.
The cape is the best one. We didn't see all of the power-ups in our playthrough
Because we're bad.
Yeah, we didn't. We honestly didn't make it that far in the grand scheme
Which is
of
really
things.
surprising because I thought we would breeze through a lot of it, but the controller kind of held us back a little bit in the beginning. And then by the end of it, I think we were a little fed up with it. Just because we kept dying in really stupid ways and in the same spot. So...
First try win! Hell yeah! Oh,
What a journey that was.
yeah. Well, and to your point there, though, when you died, you knew why.
Yeah.
It was just like, okay, I know what I did wrong there. There was very, very few instances where it was like,
That
wait,
was
what?
BS.
Or like the hitboxes seemed janky or unfair. Like,
Foreshadowing.
oh, but oh my lord! Even though we kind of like got frustrated with it a little bit, it wasn't frustrated with the game. It was
Ourselves.
just like our general like frustration with
Lack of
our
skill.
performance. Yeah, yeah, and it's the kind of thing like I would absolutely go back and keep.
Yeah. And
What do you think of the bosses?
that's what I was just going to say. I was just going to bring that up. The first one I just destroyed.
You blinked and you missed that.
Yeah,
fight.
that was like, I think I jumped on him twice and he was gone.
Yeah,
But
he just went. Whoop. All right, Indiana Jones. Boss door. Big red door.
usually you get him going the other way, but...
Five head. Cool. First boss down.
But most people, as soon as that fight starts, they go right at him. But the thing
And then-
tilts towards you.
Yeah.
So you send him back the long way. So you got to wait just for a little bit for it to tilt back the other way, and then you can just cheese him right off the edge. But there's a boss fight later on in the game that I remember. It's like the 3 Triceratops things, or is it 4? Or whatever. But
Oh,
they,
and
the pinwheel thing. And
Ferris wheel. Yeah, it's a Ferris wheel.
Yeah, Ferris wheel thing. And they destroy the arena if you take too much time to get them all. And eventually you're going to run out of platform to go get them. That, I feel like, was one of my favorite boss fights in the game, if I were to reflect back on an earlier
previous
time that I'd
playthroughs.
ever played through it. And I think my favorite area in the whole game was the Forest of Illusion. I really liked that area when I'd played it before. Music was great. Level design was really fun. And you had to find a secret way to get to the next level, which was really interesting.
Yeah.
So-
well, and that's something that we were not very good at this playthrough.
No,
is
no,
finding
no.
the secrets. I had to look up the one that would give us the
items.
item island or whatever. But I don't think we organically found any secrets.
No, and again, we're bad.
I mean,
So-
yeah, we were not good at this
No.
game, but we
So-
unfortunately didn't find all of the secrets. But yeah, I think that just knowing that there's that much like replay value to
Oh,
it,
yeah.
just kind
Yeah.
of makes you like, yeah, of course I want to go and revisit this game,
100%.
because there's just so much more to it.
Well, and also to redeem ourselves for how terrible
know,
we looked
right?
during this playthrough. Cannot stress enough how first game, hadn't played it in 20 years or whatever, and yeah, it's just, it was one of those things.
Yep.
So
Good time though.
Yeah, loved it. Even though we got a little frustrated, loved every minute of it.
Yep,
was great.
It was a great little romp through memory lane. See, it's shit like that where you could be like, this game's bullshit. It's like, no, I just misplayed that entirely. That was absolutely my fault.
Yeah, it was a lack of precision.
Yeah.
Oh, you tried so hard to screw that up. You tried your damnedest.
We got through it, and I'm still big. All right.
The next game.
Luke wants to talk about Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
So what's the setup for this game? First of all,
What do you mean? In what context do you mean?
like
setup?
in the story aspect of it. I mean, like the Mario one is the same story every single
Well, I
time.
mean,
Princess
it's kind of a
Peach is
similar
captured.
story to just Toadstool being stolen. Instead, it's Donkey Kong this time
Yeah.
in distress. So it's just King K. Rool causing trouble again, kind of like Bowser. It's just Rareware's version of Bowser.
Do they even give you very much?
Well, no, the only exposition you get is at the very beginning of that first level. You go and read the scroll. It says, "Ha, I've taken DK. You'll never get him back."
Yeah. No opening cutscene. You're just on a ship.
I'm on a boat! I've kidnapped that lumbering fool Donkey Kong, and you will never see him again! Har, 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 har. Captain
With a K. Captain K. Woo!
And that's something that you don't even necessarily have to do.
No, but you get an extra life for going in there.
Yeah.
And you get that little piece of, like, text, but other than the other, like, when you talk to, like, Cranky Kong or Wrinkly Kong, and then they don't really, they tell you secrets and how to play the game, like mechanics and stuff, which is useful, but, you know, we know how to play the game for the most part, so.
Yeah. Well, and something I was thinking about while we were struggling through our third game was that there's not a lot of context in these games.
No.
They don't tell you very much. There's like they're very light on tutorials.
No, just go play and figure stuff out.
Mario does have those like blue and orange like speaker boxes
things,
that
yeah.
will tell you about some stuff that you need to know. But the reason why there's none of that in the game is because it was all in the manual.
That's very true. Didn't think about that.
Yeah, I'm so sad that these days people don't get to experience, reading the manual in the car on the ride home.
After you buy the game.
Yeah, or they'd have like maps or art and like
Yeah.
the death of like box art and
Well,
not
and
just
the death
the
of
boxes.
physical copies of games.
Yeah, just that's such a downgrade for so many reasons.
It is.
That you don't have that physical art to hang on to and the extra like stuff that it tells you.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like maybe we should be looking at that as part of this series. Just like see it. I'm sure that there are like PDFs that we can
Oh, 100%,
look up for
yeah.
these. In fact, I'll put one up on screen right now.
There you go.
But let's talk about the pirate theme,
Love the pirate theme.
because the first game didn't really have like an overall.
No, it was kind of
connecting
just
theme
more.
like that.
They had different biomes and stuff just to change up the look of things. I think. I haven't played the first game in a while, and I need to. And I love the first game, and I've played it, but I feel like you just went from biome to biome in that one. It wasn't really like.
Yeah, it was like here's the jungle area, and here's the
snowy
Aztec
and
temple
then
area,
the snowy area, and that kind of thing. But this thing was all centered around pirates, which pirates in themselves are just cool anyway.
Yeah.
But and I was reading when I was doing research for it too that the reason that they did that was the lead developer was a huge fan of the golden age of piracy, that history, and so that's why we got the pirate theme, which 100% works with all of the enemy types and things. Everything just doesn't. Nothing feels out of place. That was lucky.
Yeah, it's very, very well themed, and you can go to all those different biomes, and it still feels like a pirate game,
Yeah.
which is a really interesting thing. Like,
And
when
that's
you
a
end up-
testament to the overworld as well. The overworld
Yeah.
design looks great that
Yeah.
way, and it just continues to push the pirate theme.
Yeah.
So-
One thing that I actually do think that Super Mario does better is making the overworld feel connected. Because like the individual areas within Donkey Kong like when you're running around, you can't always tell like where you're gonna go.
Yeah.
And that's maybe just like an art direction decision. I'm not
Yeah.
saying it's like good or bad, but when you compare that overworld to the Mario one, it's like the Donkey Kong one is like more interesting and artistic to look at, but the Mario one is just like so stylized and connected and vibrant and bright. Like I've seen people who will do like maps that are styled after the Super Mario.
Yeah. I've seen an Elden Ring version of the map. We'll throw that up on screen right now.
Yeah, like that's cool. Nobody does that with Donkey Kong though.
No, it's all through it's all Super Mario World. That's for sure.
Yeah, it just has such a distinct look and iconic.
But as far as gameplay goes,
yeah,
this one controlled the best of the three, in my opinion.
I would actually have to agree.
I said that going in, and you were kind of skeptical.
I totally was.
And I knew what I was talking about because you slide ever so slightly as Mario in this game, it seems like, at the end of your jumps. This one you don't. Not near as much, it seems like.
I almost feel like it's not just a gameplay choice. I feel like that's almost a thematic choice.
Yeah, because monkeys are very...
Like, they
grip things.
Yeah, they grasp everything with their feet.
Yeah.
And so, like, of course they're going to be more grippy in the way that they handle. Like, that just makes sense.
Yeah, they have way better tactile strength with their feet.
Yeah.
Also, Dixie drinking the juice box.
I was just thinking that, like, holding the cup with her foot.
Drinking juice. She's holding it with her foot. That's adorable. Dixie's pretty great.
She is adorable. Like,
Love.
The first Donkey Kong is great because you have like two very distinct, characters, and you don't get two indistinct characters in this one, but like their personality comes through in such a cute way, and Dixie is adorable.
She's
the little
awesome.
pink beret
Yeah.
and the ponytail and.
She is definitely probably the best part of this game, in my opinion.
Think so?
Gameplay-wise, I think. The helicopter hair just gives you just that much more accuracy on your jumps. But if you really want to live close to the edge and play fast, Diddy is your guy, You can go through things quick with Diddy. And they feel very distinct, even though they look similar.
Well, and it's like you could play the entire game with one or the other.
Yeah.
And so to make the game achievable for either one, but still make them feel different, that's very, very good game design.
That's just Rareware at their best too. Like, I would put up the best of Rareware against the best of Nintendo any day of the week. I think that's how good they were.
I mean, after playing them back to back, it's like I remembered this game because we didn't have the first one. I played the first one.
Yeah, we had the second one growing up.
But we did own this one growing up. And I remembered that I really liked it, but playing them back to back, it was like, man, this game is really, really good.
And even when we got into the hard parts, like we got frustrated, a little bit with Mario. Even during the hard parts of this, I never really got frustrated.
No, not at all.
I didn't find myself like raging at all during that playthrough. I just was enjoying myself.
Yeah, the balance I think is there, where you make progress and you're challenged just the right amount.
Exactly.
Oh.
There you go. I think you're getting the hang of it. There you go. Nicely done. Yeah, which is funny that you bring that up because a lot of people complained, and I was going to bring this up in the intro, but we ran out of time. A lot of people complained that the first Donkey Kong Country was too easy. And so that's why they made this game more challenging compared to the first one. That's why you have levels like with Squawks and the wind mechanic and the bramble and the barrel levels like we did at the very end, and I was doing that one, and like those levels are no joke. They're tough levels.
Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Conquest. It's even tougher than the original.
But like I said, I never got frustrated. I just was having a good time.
See, and the same feeling that I got, just like it's visually really, really pretty.
Gorgeous.
It's one of those things though, like if you were to remake Super Mario World it would look basically the same. Like it's just kind of, it looks good the way it is, and there's not really much I think you could do to improve it. Diddy Kong, on the other hand, I feel like a remaster or a remake would go a really, really long way.
Just with visual clarity, like you were saying while we were playing, there's some spots, like when the wind effects are going or like the rain effects are going, that it's a little bit tough to see things.
Those
but
blue bugs on a blue sky background, and they're a little bit tricky to see.
Okay, I know we were talking about graphics earlier,
Yeah.
and maybe it's just because I'm not used to the way this game looks or something, but I find that that Mario has more visual clarity.
I think it's because you see the wind effects in this one.
Like these blue bugs sometimes kind of just disappear for me. Like I just don't see them very well.
And like the animations are wonderful. The resolution isn't quite there, and so you can see like the kind of fuzziness to it all.
But also that kind of adds to its charm, I think, a little bit. The fuzziness of
it doesn't detract from the game at all.
Yeah.
But I couldn't help but think like the entire time we were playing, like, man, a remaster of this game would go so hard.
Yeah. Can we talk about the music?
Yeah,
now?
yeah. Let's talk about
My
the music.
goodness, David Wise, I love you. You just made get out of my shot. Get out of my shot. It's my camera. No, but everything that David Wise has touched turns to gold. I know we didn't play Diddy Kong Racing that much during Retro Game Day, but I've gone back and
he
did Diddy Kong Racing, and I think. He did all the Donkey Kong Country games, and I'm pretty sure he came back for the Nintendo ones that were made for the Wii and the Wii U for Tropical Freeze and Returns.
I want to dig into those games at some point.
Yeah,
They
we
seem
should do those.
Really good.
I think you can get them both on the Switch. I think they just barely remastered Returns. I think you can play them both on the Switch now. And I have Tropical Freeze, so
Cool.
So we could play that later.
Yeah,
but anyway, my favorite tune on the whole thing is the Jib Jab, I think is what it's called, or Jib Jig, I think is what it's called. I just love the trumpets and the adventure-y sounding of it all with the wind sound effects. It just hits me right in my soul, and it just makes me happy. So
yeah, like the sound just in general was very, very good. The way that they did it for Donkey Kong stretches the limits of what's even possible. Like a lot of other people have like gone to try and like replicate it or look at how it was done, and they don't understand it. Like dude was a wizard in the way he did it, because the way that like most SNES games sound, you can tell that it's like MIDI. It's crude. It's very like choppy and like robotic.
16-bitty.
Yeah, and that's just what the sound of this console was for the most part. But the way that they do the music in Donkey Kong is so sophisticated and so clever. They're basically able to like replicate analog synths on here in a way that just does not make sense. I watched a documentary on this. It's probably just on YouTube. I'll have to link that down below, because it is fascinating what they were able to do. And I guess like Rare was just pushing the limits of what was even possible here. Like the animations, the way that they're done, like no other game looks like that.
No.
And no other game sounds like that. They just were so clever with the way that they did stuff. Just genius stuff all around. The level design is great. The music's great. The combat's great. Like everything about it is really fantastic.
So the J with a weird accent.
Bonus barrel! What the count of that is so interesting.
You're such a freaking nerd, dude.
Why? Because I like music?
And it's just so nerdy of you to notice that stuff. We mentioned that we didn't find a lot of secrets in Super Mario World. We found a ton of secrets in Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah, the way that they designed like the breadcrumbs to just like,
hey, you should maybe look over here.
Yeah, why don't you fall to your death right here? Oh, there's a barrel! go.
There you go. And also the mini games were a good time. They were either like platforming puzzles, trying to get to the coin, destroying all the enemies in a fun, unique way, like
Collecting all the stars.
yeah, like they were, you know, they were the same throughout. The concepts were all the same, but the execution was all different every time. So love and appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Well, and they don't get too convoluted with all their different currencies.
No.
Like they're all pretty obvious what they do. Like bananas give you extra lives, and the balloons give you extra lives. The banana coins let you unlock, Kong-related things like secrets
NPC stuff, yeah.
or save states or whatever. And then there's the what are the other coins?
The creme
called?
coins,
The
I
creme
think.
coins. They let you unlock the stuff with what's his bucket?
Clubber.
Clubber. My clubber. Don't cancel me.
Don't do it. Cancel them. Do it. I dare you.
I hear this, landlubbers. My name is Clubber, and to cross me bridge is gonna cost you many pieces of hate. And if yours don't pay up, I'll run you through like the scurvy dogs you are.
Okay.
It costs 15 creme coins to cross over my tees.
Run away. You can fight him?
No, I think he just hits you.
Come back and face me, yellow-bellied dogs.
What does that even do though? We didn't quite.
We never got
were
to do
right
that. Yeah,
there
we were
before
super close.
Yeah.
But we wanted to keep, experiencing all the different levels because we couldn't wait to see what was next. That was
Yeah.
That's the mood that I got. I was like, I just want to see the next level, and I was really bummed out that we didn't get to a minecart level. I was so sad. I think we were so close. If we'd have got through that last barrel level and beat the boss, I think the next area would have been the minecart stuff.
We'll find out. I think we'll play a little bit more here tonight.
I am so down. That's all I want to do. I want to play more Donkey Kong Country.
This level's fun.
I just like the music.
Oh, shit, Nikes. Give me a second. You. Didn't have enough time to jump there.
You
Okay.
need to do the super jump on the other side.
Ah, that's what it is.
The pacing is perfect. They let you spend just enough time in an area before you start to get tired of it, and then you're on to the next thing.
Yep.
Like the levels are just the right length, where they're
Well, and
they're
the
short.
backdrops change between levels a lot. Like you had the
Yeah.
bramble section versus like the bayou section versus the underwater ship levels. Like you would be swimming, and also swimming is way better in this game than it is in Super
Swimming
Mario
is
World.
significantly better.
I
in
didn't
Donkey
hate the
Kong.
water levels.
No,
So
no.
Also-
enemy variety.
Oh yeah, we were going to talk about between these two games.
Yeah,
we can
both
talk
of
about
them have great enemy variety.
Yeah, you get something new about every level. It seemed like they just added a little more, add a little more.
Yeah, you'd get 3 or 4 different enemies in a level, and they just kept sprinkling new ones.
Yeah, just different things to keep you on your toes. And like,
Yeah.
oh, what does that guy do? You know?
Yeah.
Like the guy with the 2 swords in the bayou thing. You had to wait till he hit the thing before you could hit him.
Yeah.
Or
And you have different variations on the same enemy. Like there's the cannon dudes that shoot barrels, or they shoot cannonballs, or they might shoot both.
Yeah.
Or
Like,
the jumping guys, the different colors.
they all jump
behave
different heights.
differently. But the color kind of telegraphs what sort of things.
well,
they
and same
do.
thing in Super Mario World. Green Koopas, red Koopas, blue Koopas, and then the yellow Koopa, which doesn't get really seen anymore. It just homed in on you as soon as it got into the shell.
Yeah.
Which is a really cool mechanic that is still used in a lot of Mario Maker levels. I see that used a lot, the yellow shell that people just continuously bounce on to get through levels.
Oh, yeah.
Just super creative and cool. But the Goombas look really weird in Super Mario World, I thought.
I'm not sure that I like the Goomba design.
I don't like the Goomba design
They
either.
look like tomatoes.
Yeah, they do.
It's like the brown mushroom-headed ones.
Yeah, that's a Goomba.
They bring them back in Super Mario 64.
Yeah,
But
they
it's
look the same.
Why were they tomato?
Yeah, why were they more
masses?
very circular?
Yeah,
So...
kind of betrays their
dude,
iconic.
One thing that we
look.
forgot to talk about in terms of gameplay for Super Mario World, Yoshi.
Oh, why we totally skipped
We
over
totally
Yoshi.
forgot Yoshi.
Well, we can talk about animal companions for both these games,
both these games.
Yeah, Yoshi is fun as hell.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's he or she.
I think it's a he.
I think it's a he. I think he's a he. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The different how you control on Yoshi versus off Yoshi is so interesting. You can get so much more jump height with Yoshi too, because there's a mechanic where you could jump with Yoshi and then you can jump off of Yoshi to get even more height. Super cool. The tongue is a great mechanic, and it was basically integrated into the entirety of Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. That was like one of the biggest core mechanics of the game that you needed to use. And depending on what you ate and spit out, it was different. So like if you ate a red Koopa, you would spit out fire.
Yeah.
If you ate a green Koopa, you would just spit out the
shell.
The shell.
Yeah.
Which is, anyway, love that.
What does the yellow one do if you eat it?
I don't know, but I know the blue one gives you wings.
Yeah, the blue one makes you fly.
We never had Yoshi with the yellow one, so I guess we'll never know.
There's no way for us to figure it out.
Yeah, there's no way because we sucked too bad.
We just don't know.
At the game.
The experience that everybody had with Yoshi, it's so easy to see why he just became a mainstay of the series.
Yeah. Very
it's
true.
just like he just fits into that world really well.
The sounds that he makes too.
Well, and he changes the way the music is, adds that extra percussion, the kind of horseshoe sound things. Like, I don't know. It's cute, it's endearing, but he's also fun to have and fun to control, and it's thematically cohesive with the rest of the game.
Which is weird because he's a plumber. Dinosaur. Plumber.
That's the most baffling thing about Mario, is that none of it should work, but it just does. I don't know. It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
But it somehow makes sense.
Yeah. So we talked about that, but now with Rareware, and they had many different animal companions, even in the first game.
Yeah.
In Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah.
But in Donkey Kong Country 2, I think the animal companions are vastly improved.
In what way?
I think as far as like attacking things goes, I think Rambi was about the only one that had like unique attack or something. But I don't know if Squawks was in the first game. I'd have to look, but I don't know.
The only other one I really have
the
a
ostrich.
strong memory of is the ostrich that let you fly. Well, glide.
It glided. I think the addition of Squitter the spider was the best addition. I love Squitter.
Spider is a delight. He's just fun to look at. It's a spider wearing tennis shoes. It looks nuts.
It's awesome.
Oh, this is where the spider is.
Oh, and you can do that. I didn't remember you could do that. Very nicely done.
Spider bro, best fucking bro in.
Ooh, hit him. Kill him with the web before he goes away. Yeah. But the fact that you can create your own platforms.
Yeah, and you had like some control over the
where they like you could you
elevation.
You hit, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the word.
And then his attack was really good. Also, I really enjoyed controlling the snake. Oddly enough, I think a lot of people really don't like the snake as a companion, and I know people hate Squawks. I know people do. Every time I look up stuff on the internet for that, everybody always trashes Squawks, but it's because his levels are the toughest. The bramble bush one where you have the wind blowing, trying to blow you into the walls, and you have to avoid the walls in the level. Like,
well, the one level you played with him, it looked like you were just kind of breezing through it, though.
Well, that was a mineshaft level, though.
Mr. Vader.
Look at that! See, you can shoot him through the stage.
Attack!
I didn't have to worry about running into the terrain and dying.
Well, yeah, but
with no wind either.
Was that level fun?
Oh, 100%! I loved it.
Well, there you go. People are more upset at the level design than they are with
the animal companion. That's true.
Yeah.
And the one that we never found him in any of the water levels was On Guard, the swordfish, and he controls awesome in the water. You thought that the swimming was good with just the cogs? It's way better with On Guard.
Yeah.
Also, the names of all the animals are great in Donkey Kong Country. You have Rambi, Squitter. I can't remember the snake's name off the top of my head now.
I don't remember it either.
Tell us in the comments. And then,
leave a comment down below with the snake's name, or a snake emoji if you don't know.
Yeah, Squawks, and then am I missing one? I think they're 4, right? And then Squitter. Or did I say Squitter already?
Spider, rhino, parrot, fish.
Swordfish.
And then there's the anglerfish.
Oh yeah, we don't know what the anglerfish is, but he lights up.
Glimmer.
Glimmer, that's what his name is.
Yeah. I remembered that one because it was in one of the quizzes.
Hey,
What is the name of the level? Anglerfish. Ooh, I think it's Glimmer's Galleon, I want to say. Yeah.
and that's also another mechanic that Donkey Kong Country had, is all the NPCs had really cool roles.
Yeah, well, I was gonna like tag along with we're talking about how the names of the characters are really
Oh yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Just in general, every time that they have a name for something, it's intentional and it's clever and it's on theme and it's funny and memorable. So when they, all the names of the level, like you could just like, I don't care about that, whatever, just play the game. But if you look at them, like they're all like puns or alliteration, or they're really descriptive and flavorful. And then when they pull in the quiz show thing, they put more
reference all
attention
that
on
stuff.
that. And it's like they put all this work into it, and then they reward you for
Paying attention
to it, which is wonderful. I love that. That's fun. It's a way to like really make you engage with the game in a way that you wouldn't otherwise.
Yeah, and to your point where the names describe the levels, I knew exactly that barrel level was going to be a barrel level. I knew it because of the name. You could just tell.
Yeah.
So that's something that Mario doesn't do.
No, and I think all of the levels in there, they would have like the name of the area and then
then
like,
one,
or 2 or 3.
1, 2, 1, 3.
Well, that's what they
4.
do in the original Super Mario.
Yoshi's
or-
Island 1, Yoshi's Island 2,
I think they do
Donut
that up to
Plains 1,
3.
Donut Plains 2.
But yeah, later on, yeah.
Yeah.
Ghost House 3, like okay, like it's a
Donut
real,
Plains Ghost House.
yeah. It's a really pragmatic approach to it, but it's a missed opportunity.
It really
It
is.
doesn't detract from the game at all.
No.
It's not a big deal at all. But you do just have to like look at Donkey Kong and see like they saw an opportunity there, and they made something more of something that a lot of other devs would have just
Glossed
ignored
over,
or
yeah.
glossed over, not made a big deal about, and it just adds flavor and enriches the game world. And in these games where there's so little story, but you still have so much flavor, I think that makes them so much more memorable for it.
Yeah, I agree. Proud of you. Oh, freaking Dixie coming in clutch.
She's my girl. No, she's Diddy's girl.
She's Diddy's girl, but she's also our...
Fuck you, Dixie! What the shit was that?
Well,
It is
is.
time now.
now we got like 3,000 years until we get to the 11th floor here.
Yeah.
Take a sip of your drink.
Yeah, take a drink every time the game sucks.
Oh my goodness. So,
And I want to clarify before we start this, it's not just me that hated this. He hated it too.
Yeah, we both did have a genuinely terrible time with this game. I don't know if this is the worst game I've ever played, but it's right up there, or right down there.
Right down there.
So,
yeah.
We've talked a lot about how well these other games have, had so much character and flavor and panache and vibrance, and Home Alone 2 has none of that.
This many.
Oh my goodness. So, like right from the title screen too.
Okay. Hold on to your butts.
I've never been so unexcited to play a game, I think, in my entire life.
Okay. Here's the first knock on this
Did you
game.
push start?
I know, because
Okay,
I
okay.
wanted to say something here.
Okay.
This song, when we were getting the B-roll, we were like, what the heck is this song? And that is so frustrating because
They
the
can't use
music,
the licensed music.
the music of Home Alone
It's
is like,
fantastic.
it's John Williams. It's so good. What the heck is this? This sounds like amateur MIDI music.
This just sounds like something you'd hear at like a freaking like carnival or like a weird arcade.
Yeah.
game. Like, this just doesn't sound correct.
Like, I'm listening to it.
Poor Tom Hite. I'm sorry that you got honored in a Home Alone 2 video game that nobody gave a crap about.
Because it opens, and everything looks
Wrong.
really cheap. The music sounds amateur as hell, and I can say that because I'm a musician and I know what good music sounds like. And this sounds like somebody's like fourth or fifth attempt at writing music is what it sounds like.
Well, and let's be fair to these people. This game was probably developed in less than a year.
Oh, undoubtedly.
Like these people had no time to make this. Like, we're not like these people are probably very talented people. Who knows? But like, you got to be a little bit more fair to them because they were given probably less than a year to develop it. They were developing it alongside the movie, so they didn't have everything that the movie had to offer because it didn't come out after the movie. And like, I don't know. I just don't want to trash these people too much because they were given an impossible task.
True.
So anyway, I just wanted to set that as a precedent before we start like really pooping all over this thing.
And I mean, there's just not much to this game.
No.
And everything that you love about Home Alone just isn't here.
No.
Well, and we can start right there with like the music that I'm shitting all over. The John Williams score does
phenomenal.
A lot for those movies. Like, I think they would probably be like okay movies without that score, but they are so greatly enhanced.
So elevated by the music.
And for basically none of that to show up in this game.
I could only ever hear hints of it. You could kind of hear hints of it, but it was just like, it's so not close to being right that it's irritating.
Everything about the game is so bad.
You didn't want to go in the gift shop?
I will. I'm going to get the necklace first. A what? Okay. Okay,
so you get to the title screen and you press start to start playing the game, and then you get like a little like
dialogue thing to kind of set up like
cutscene.
Yeah.
Well, it's two images.
It's images with text.
But
and the sprites look really weird. Like Joe Pesci just does not look right.
Yeah, they just don't look very
and neither
good.
does Tim Curry. This jumping luggage in the back. What? This is Tim Curry.
This is the concierge of the Plaza Hotel.
Look at that Joe Pesci face, man.
Calling for Lefty Louie. That you, Louie?
What does that even mean?
This is Harry. What? Yeah, the simp or Marv. Wait, he calls him the simp? Marv is a simp, confirmed.
They look quite bad, and none of the dialogue that's happening in there is
well
what's
written.
in the movie.
And it's not well written either.
It's clunky, and it's like, I know that this came out the same year as the movie, so maybe they didn't have the script totally nailed down or something, but like the dialogue that they came up with is similar to what's in the movie, but it's just like the worst version.
Well, it's same with the music. It's not close and it's irritating.
Yeah. Well, and because we're so intimately familiar with the source material, like I think that becomes even more aggravating because like our expectations were very low going into this.
Well, until I found out what it was, yes.
And then they didn't even meet that standard.
No.
Because you get the Tim Curry with the text, and then you get the bandits with some text, and then that next screen
is immediately gameplay, and you can if you don't move,
you're forgetting one.
Oh, the green.
What the hell is that?
It looks like something straight out of Windows Movie Maker.
What is that?
16-bit Windows Movie Maker.
And why do they have to like be so? It's 12:30 in the afternoon. Like what?
Who gives a crap?
We're inside. Like the time of day doesn't matter.
No.
Oh my god! What an infuriating like opening to a game. It has no style, no flavor, and it just looks very poorly executed. Green with text with a font
white text.
What is that font? What is you have fonts to work from. We use those fonts. What the heck?
And then if you do not move within like the first 3 seconds, you lose an entire life.
I want to time and see exactly how long that is from the time that the game loads to the time that you get hit.
Run! He's gonna get you!
What? He was shaking me.
If you are not like ready to hit the button, you
lose a life.
I think we were able to get
two
extra
lives.
lives by the time we got to the end of that level. So lives are precious.
In the other games, not so much.
Not so much. Like there are ways for you to get lives
easily.
And that makes, the deaths a lot more forgiving and less frustrating. But any time that you would take damage or die, like that's a major setback because there are no checkpoints. There's no like save states.
There's no halfway point.
Nothing. You have to go through the entire game, as far as we know, all in one go.
Yeah.
And I know that's a strategy from a bygone era to make games really, really difficult and
but also
have
to
no
pad
save
out the
point.
runtime.
Yeah. But the thing is that the gameplay is not that fun.
And forcing you to play large sections that you've already played through just is not enjoyable.
We basically played the same level for
2 hours.
Damn near 2 hours.
Yeah, for an hour and like 30 minutes. And then 10 minutes, or like not even 10 minutes, like a minute and a half was spent on the second level, and we were so turbo done with
died.
it that we didn't get to see any of this second level, and it's just
Hey, is that Michael Jackson with the room service?
you have to.
You just have to start all the way over, I guess.
We're not playing 2 hours of this. We are not.
Well, okay, so let's back up and talk about the gameplay. So you're playing as Kevin, and you run through these levels.
You have an attack that you can only do by sliding. So you run and then you push down on the D-pad to slide into enemies. But it only works on certain enemies.
Yeah.
Certain enemies are immune to it, and you just take damage because you I'm like, oh, this is how I take out the possessed luggage that's trying to get me. Maybe it'll work on people too. Nope, it doesn't work on people.
No,
Sorry.
no.
Dude, his eyes look like Cyclops, like a visor, dude. It looks like one piece. Possessed mop buckets. Spam the elevator, Drew. I don't know how you do it. Do it again. Spam it. The sound that it makes when you jump is so horrendously bad.
Well, and then the other items that you pick up are just bizarre.
Like the necklace.
Okay, so the necklace, it's another one of those things where it's like...
In the movie, he uses it to make people trip and fall.
But in this, you just chuck it.
Grenade!
Yeah, like why is the necklace a grenade?
D at the bottom?
That doesn't make any... Like, if they gave you the necklace, that would make sense within the game world. So, and there are a lot of enemies that move.
It's like a proximity mine.
Right, yeah. So what you should do is like pull the pearls off the string, and then the enemy that moves into it, whoop, trip and fall. And that would make sense. But you just like throw it at them? Like, why? That's so not how that's supposed to work.
No.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Well, and the other items you pick up.
The toy gun.
The toy guns. Well, guns.
Yeah, there's 3 different types that we know of.
Yeah. So the first one that you get the most ammo for is just a stun gun. So it doesn't hurt anything.
It just makes it so that you can go through them without taking damage.
Path through stuff. Useful. Kind of weird, but fine, whatever. The next thing you pick up is... I I guess you would call it like a rifle.
Yeah, like with a fist.
Yeah, with like a small like boxing glove or whatever on it, and that one will actually take out enemies. And then like the last step up is the bazooka with the giant boxing glove on it, which apparently can go through the whole entire level. And we didn't find that out until the very end when you accidentally used it and fucking Chris Kyled everything in
Collateral. Quigley down under. I mean, I have to try, right? Okay. Excuse me?
And we were like, oh shit, that's what that does.
That's cool. We didn't know the gravity of the power that we had in our hands.
Yeah. Probably would have used it a little more if we had understood how it worked, but...
Anyway.
Other power-ups, though. So there is the Turtle Dove, which basically gives you a Samus screw attack until you get hit.
And you can't use it on the luggage. Doesn't work on the luggage.
Yeah, what the heck? It's
you could only slide the luggage.
The pizza. The pizza makes sense. The pizza is the one thing that I have no problems with. It does have
pepperoni on it, though, because... Wait
a minute, you're right. Kevin I do have a problem with it.
A lovely cheese pizza just for me.
That was going to be the one thing that I had no problems with because as a mechanic, that works. Pizza, Kevin likes pizza.
Extra
you collect enough pizza, you get an extra life. Cool. That works. They put pepperoni on it. And it's not like they didn't know that Kevin had a preference for cheese
because
pizza.
There was one movie out already.
It makes a very big deal of that in that movie, too. Like,
a lovely cheese pizza just for me.
A lovely cheese pizza just for me.
Were there any other
redeeming quality?
I know. I was trying to give him one. What else do you pick up? The coins...
Don't do anything. They increase your high score because every game had a high score.
Where there's no like display for a high score.
No.
What does it mean? Do you have to like complete
Get to the end of the game to see your high score? Because if you don't complete it, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
The fact that we've stuck with it for over an hour is impressive, though.
Honestly, truly.
We're stuck on the same level.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like the other games, like. Yeah, maybe they're easier or whatever. But
no, they have better controls. They're better designed. It's not an easy or hard thing. This is just a very poorly designed pile of junk.
Let's talk about the enemies, because the enemies are all over the place.
So weird.
So the humanoid enemies are the ones that make the most sense. But they are so bizarre.
And janky.
So, like, Tim Curry is an enemy. Great.
Makes sense.
But if he catches you, then you lose a life. Not like take damage, you lose a life instantly. Which is punishing as fuck in a game where you can't get extra lives easily.
Unveiled in October of 92 and released in late 1992.
No! God damn it! Oh, I just lost 2 lives so fast.
Or replenish your health at all.
Yeah, there are no health pickups that we ever found.
None.
Well, I need to back up just a little bit. The way that you get items is that you just like run into stuff in the background.
And you can't tell what's interactable at all.
No, so weird. It's just like you jump in this spot here and then like it spawns the item. Like, okay.
Whatever.
They have like dressers, like interact with a drawer to find stuff or
like pull out the drawer and the item pops out. And also the maid enemy was stupid.
The maid enemy is frustrating because they're always in the same place. You walk into the room.
They're in the corner and they throw things
on top
at you.
of the bed and they just immediately start
and the pillow like bounces to hit you when you're sitting on top of the dresser.
I think that their stun time is lower because when you stun like the lady that like jumps with the umbrella, which is weird, or you stun like the hotel staff with the cart,
the room service
guys, like they stay stunned for a good amount of time.
And then the freaking the guy with the bowler hat,
the Gestapo looking dude,
gonna get you.
He even has like a little red thing on his shoulder, doesn't he?
Oh, I don't remember that, but
have to have such quick reactions because they don't give you any lead room.
I was too frustrated and annoyed.
Bizarre design.
Yeah, super weird.
And that enemy sucks too because like he's another one of those where if he touches you, you take
A life.
a life, not just damage.
Yeah.
Like weird.
Yeah.
But then they needed like other enemy types. So how many human enemies did we encounter?
Tim Curry.
Tim Curry, Maid, Umbrella Lady,
Room service
guy with one variation. There's
Yeah.
like a single dude in red.
Yeah.
There's the dishwasher.
The butcher guys.
The butcher guys.
and then the chef.
The chef at the end.
Yeah.
So
There's 8 different humanoids.
different human enemies. And then there's
The suitcase, the smaller suitcase, the garment bag. Like, we're not making this up.
this is the kind of like a garment bag as an enemy would have worked in a Banjo-Kazooie game.
Yeah, because they could have thrown eyes and a mouth on it.
Yeah, they could. It would have been silly. It would have fit. Kevin doesn't fight luggage.
Well, in the first movie, he doesn't know how to pack his luggage.
Oh well, yeah. The pack my suitcase.
You're getting heavy. Go pack your suitcase.
Pack my suitcase.
Like a mop and a bucket that you.
And when you slid through it, when the mop was in the air, it would just like
Yeah,
keel
whee!
over and die. It makes you jump so often. Why did they put such a freaking annoying sound?
I don't know, dude. This game is baffling.
Bring, bring. Oh, hey, I hit the mop when it was in the air, too. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Let me do it again. You know, and then
Oh
the
my-
guy throwing cherry bombs at you.
Oh yeah, that guy too. I guess so. There were 10.
And then the girl that threw necklaces at you in the gift shop.
Yeah, like weird one-offs.
Yeah.
that- not very memorable, but just
No.
kind of like weird and annoying.
Yeah.
On the appliance side, there's the vacuums. That if you
Another
if you-
thing that grabs you, you lose a life.
Yeah, the one-hit KOs are awful.
Yeah, it's stupid and
So
unfair.
awful.
When you died in these 2 games,
It was
It was
like,
fair.
Come on. Okay, I know what I did wrong.
in this game, it didn't feel fair. It didn't feel earned. Like the turtle dove is supposed to insta-kill things if you jump into them. But no, Tim Curry or the Gestapo guy can just grab you out of the air.
Yeah, they're somehow immune to that stuff for reason.
God, I don't even know what the most frustrating part of this is.
I think it's definitely the camera. That it slides with you not until until the last third.
of the screen, so you can't see shit.
The next thing we have to talk about is just how ugly this game is.
Oh yeah,
It is terrible.
It looks like a mobile game that was developed back in the 90s.
Yeah. That's about the
90s
level of where I put it. Like the animations are terrible. We harped on this the whole time. Like Kevin's running animation looks really
and then the
weird.
the one frame thing when you're spamming to get
button.
the elevator to come to
yeah,
you.
he just
There it goes. You just have to spam the button on the elevator. It's still going.
Okay, and now we're back!
no time or effort or love was put into it, and it's so frustrating.
Soulless
and
cash grab.
bad.
That's what this is.
Well, and like all the enemies just looked awful.
The animations were clunky.
They were
and
terrible.
They were like 1 or 2 frames a piece.
Yeah. Well, and then like all the environments were just like ugly. Like they had no charm or distinction in them. Like a lot of the rooms just look the same, which like fine. They're hotel rooms.
They're supposed to look the same.
They all look the same. Like what? That's sure. I'll
But
give
it's the
you that.
Plaza Hotel. The nicest hotel in all of New York City.
in a lot of spaces, they had those foreground elements that would cover up stuff that you needed to be able to see, like the conveyor belt.
Oh my
thing
gosh, the conveyor
was
belt.
right over top of the
thing that did damage to you.
Yeah, like the little sprayer.
The soap dispenser
Yeah.
thing. For the love of all that is holy and good and decent in this world.
What the hell? And then the very next, I feel like that whole little thing there, like, yeah, you could design
It is
like some game
impossible
level
to
stuff.
not take damage.
Yeah, there is no possible
It is
way
the
to get
epitome
through
of
that.
the unavoidable chin move.
He's gonna do the chin move! Unavoidable chin move! Unavoidable chin move! What the fuck?
It feels unfair, and it doesn't matter how much skill you have. You just end up, well, I'm just gonna take a
And then
damage.
on top of that, there is like the like this bowling alley, like the hole of abyss that you can get caught in, and it takes a life from you too.
Yeah.
Can you kill him from here? I'm so over this, dude.
Here, one more shot.
No.
Can we talk about that boss fight?
Call it a boss fight.
Well, you have the first boss fight that's the elevator,
The elevator thing.
where you're fighting the
luggage,
the
the possessed
mini boss. Push the button 5 times.
Yeah, have you spam the button? Why not just push it once?
Like, push it once.
Have to defend against the enemies.
Give some indication that the elevator is coming, and yeah, sure, but you have to like keep pushing it. Like, everybody knows that pushing the elevator button multiple times doesn't make it go faster. It doesn't do anything. But then the boss fight there at the end, and the more you hit him, the more his shirt comes off.
We should have done that your first time through where you had everything, but... His shirt open? Oh, what the fuck?
Did I win? I mean, it's like the Doom mechanic. You're shredding the flesh. Instead of this, it's like the freaking...
What the heck?
Yeah.
What a bizarre fight. And if you
Super
come into
weird.
that with no ammo for anything...
Well, you can't even do damage to him with the guns. You have to slide into him.
Oh, you do have
you
to slide
have
in.
to slide into him.
I thought you
when you
could
hit him
damage
with
him
the
with the
guns,
rifle.
no number came up if you hit him with it. You
Interesting.
have to slide into him. And he throws these like butcher knife things that persist on the ground. And if they're not
Sometimes.
moving, they still do damage to you.
They sometimes persist.
Anyway.
Some of them will go through the floor, and other times they'll bounce. Awful game. And then we finally get to the end of the level.
Get to the next part.
You get to Marvin Harry, who catch you there, and then the lady punches him. It plays out not how the movie is.
No. Look at
Different
Kevin's
thing to
face
talk
in
to
this.
anybody. He's just so fucking done. Same, dude.
And then you end up in Central Park, and you're treated to the title screen music. They just reused it for that.
And then you have these enemies coming up from these really hard to see bushes, hitting you with a bat. And plus little rats on the ground that are hard to see.
At least those enemies make sense.
That's true.
Like, rats? Sure, why not? It's not in the movie, but like rats in Central Park, sure, I'll allow it.
Thugs and
Thugs and bums in there, like, sure. That kind of happens in the movie. I'll give it to you. But the thing that killed me was just that music change.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I thought we would like get some more variation at that point.
No.
But like you're in this dark Central Park environment and it has the most tonally off music you could have for that section.
This music is even worse.
This is the same music.
Okay.
Wait, is this not like the title screen music?
It is. So does this send us all the way back to the first level? It sure does.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Awful.
This, I will hazard to say, I had a worse time playing this game than I had playing Turok.
Really?
100%.
I mean, Turok at least gave us some variety.
Yeah.
Like, we made progress and made it to different parts of the game. Things happened.
Yeah.
This was just playing the same thing basically the entire time.
Yeah.
Until we got good enough at it to get through it. And then...
Well, it wasn't even a
and then-
matter of getting good with it. It was a matter of getting through all the BS.
Yeah, well, knowing where stuff was, which rooms to skip. There's just so many things that just feel like they're designed to be frustrating, and it was impossible to have fun with
Well,
it.
it's like it was designed to be an arcade game that you fed quarters to.
Yeah, I didn't see any mention of an arcade on this. But
There was a
wonder if
bunch
that
of
was a
different
plan.
versions of this game. There was one on the computer. I think there was several like on the Genesis and the Dreamcast. Both had versions of this.
Dreamcast?
Maybe not the Dreamcast, but I know I saw Genesis.
Yeah, I know it was on the NES and the SNES and the Genesis. And I wonder if
And there was a
because
DOS
it was on
version.
and there was a computer version.
Yeah, it was a computer version of it.
Ugh. But yeah, I wonder if because it was on the NES, that's why it was so crude all over, because
That
they couldn't be
makes a
bothered to
lot
make
of
a better
sense.
version of it.
That makes a lot of sense.
And maybe
actually.
that's why there are no saves in it either, because the NES didn't really do that.
Well, that's, I guess, a little bit more forgivable.
Yeah. So it was probably developed for the NES because that's like your lowest common denominator, and then ported all over to these other systems, which is why it sounds bad, why it looks bad.
Why it plays bad.
They weren't leveraging the system it was on. They weren't respecting the source material at all. What a frustrating
pile of shit.
Yeah.
Excuse me, where's the lobby?
Down the hall and to the left.
I know you asked me this last time, so I'll ask you this time. What are you hitting play on next?
Ooh, I did not expect this coming in, but I gotta give it to Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong Country is also what I would say too.
Diddy's Kong Quest. It's kind of hard to say. It's beautiful wordplay. But yeah, I had a legitimately fun time. Like if we get around to it tonight, like I would love to just come back and keep playing this one.
100%, yeah. I that's the only feeling that I felt during when the timer went off. I was like, "Aw."
Yeah, it really flew by.
It really did. I was so bummed that we had to stop playing. Play that pile of shit over there.
It really felt like we were just getting started with it.
Yeah, 100%.
Like we were just digging into it. Like I had a lot of fun with Mario too.
Yeah, and 100% I'd go back and play that one too.
Definitely. But this one just felt like, like already? Like, we were just getting there.
Really into the meat and potatoes of it.
Yeah, and with Home Alone, I think you looked at the clock when we were about 15 minutes in.
We're not playing 2 hours of this. Let's make our little pyramid here like we did the last time. And put that guy on top here.
So we are hitting continue on Donkey Kong, Diddy's Conquest, and we are returning Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
Yeah, we were gonna destroy it, but I don't like destroying things. So.
No, I don't think I hate it
enough
so
to
much to destroy it. Even though the game is terrible, and even though it disrespects the source material, it's still Home Alone.
Yeah.
And to just like have it up on the shelf, like as part of the collection, I think it's good enough for that.
Exactly. But I will never play it ever again.
No, never.
Zero.
You would have to pay me.
You'd have to sponsor the video for us to play that garbage game again. But like, as far as hitting continue, yeah, this game stands above both of those, and I don't think it's close. And that's not these talking at all.
No, we sat down, we played them today, and
it's definitely these guys talking. So. What a good time to be had in this game. And I think in the future, we're going to try to play the other two. Maybe not for a video or anything like that, but it's got me so intrigued that I want to go and play the other two games.
Neither of us have played the third
game.
Third game, which is, it's absurd that they made a third one. Because this came just a year before the N64. And then the third one came
out the same year.
After the N64 came out. Like, it just seems like so crazy that the game studios would be making games after a newer console had come out.
Well, and I wonder if they even knew that the console was coming out.
They had to have.
Nintendo would have had to have told them, like, hey, start developing this. You should do this.
I don't think anyone could have gotten away with it except Nintendo. Because now that I'm thinking about it, they've done that other times. Because they developed games for the original Game Boy when the Game Boy Color was introduced.
Well, and then the Game Boy Pocket as well.
And they did have a couple of new releases once the Game Boy Advance came out. But all of that was backwards compatible.
Which I really wish that game studios would still do that. Please, game studios, keep making things backwards compatible. Let us play the old games. That way people don't have to emulate and pirate your stuff because you're not selling it. Let us be able to play the old stuff.
Yeah. Well, and I guess especially now that we've started going through some of these retro titles, they absolutely can hold up.
Yes.
They still have so much value. They are still so fun. They are great experiences. Absolutely, like if you have some like old gaming stuff in your parents' attic or whatever, go dig it out.
Fish it out.
Go hook it up and play it, or get it repaired if it doesn't work. Like there are places out there that can do that, and it's absolutely worth digging this stuff out and revisiting it. They are not like made worse by being older or simpler or anything like that. Like these games absolutely hold up. The good ones.
Yeah. And if I might plug this, if you have stuff that you don't want that maybe we could use in a video or something like that, and even if you just lent it to us and we asked you, we would give it right back. But if you don't want it, and maybe we could work out if we wanted to buy it off you or whatever, we are interested in that.
Yeah, we're trying to build out the collection.
Yeah.
Yeah. So send us your old games if you don't want them.
Hell yeah.